Purdue as Mitchell looks for an answer.
Ooh, pure, nothing but net.
Garland to the basket, stole the inbound pass. He lays it in.
Basketball down there.
Very high percentage shot for him from that spot. Merrill for three. Tristan Thompson on the floor. Diaz for three. That's short. Hard rebound. Ricochets out to Merrill for three again.
For the We Like Sportz Show, tune in and see the latest the crew has to say regarding the latest sports topics nationally and locally. Make sure to check out our website as well, WeLikeSportsPC.com. Subscribe on all platforms, including podcast platforms, YouTube, TikTok, and much more. And be sure to follow us on X at We Like Sportz PC.
Started with Anderson and Ramirez.
He said, let's go, right? Yeah, I'm sure he wants the game to start, but they won't let it. And rightfully so.
And welcome to the We Like Sportz Show. I'm your host, Ed Columbus, with my guys, Keith and Casey in Orlando. What's up, my guys?
What's good? What's good? What's good?
What's up, Ed?
Casey. Okay, so it's been quite a while. You've been, you've been absent, so you are gracing us with your presence.
The schedule's not consistent, man. It's all over the place. I can't keep up.
What is the one thing that you've been dying to say to me since you've been gone? Since you see, this is the first time we've seen each other. What is the one thing that you just could not wait to tell me?
If there's an answer that I don't know. All I know is that the Cavs pissed me off last night. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, we'll start with that. We're going to start with our Cleveland Cavaliers. We'll start with some NBA talk. And Casey, take the floor. Cavs with a disappointing loss to the New York Knickerbockers last night at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. A squad. Both teams were kind of depleted. Obviously, the Knicks were Brunson and Julius Randle, and I can't think of the other guy's name, but he's good.
Mitchell Robinson.
And then we were
Ochinobi.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah. And then obviously we were out Donovan Mitchell and Karis LeVert. But Casey, your first thoughts on our Cleveland Cavaliers?
Going into the All-Star break, I felt pretty solid. I think all three of us probably felt pretty solid going into the All-Star break. And then we get out of that, and then Mitchell, I see he's out for the next 3 games, which is worrisome. And we're playing some tough teams there. We just dropped down to the 3rd seed. It is kind of bizarre, that game yesterday, how when Brunson went down, I said, there's no way we're losing. Like, there's no chance we're going to lose this game. Even with Mitchell out, we have, our other 3 guys. We still got the role players. I said, there's no way. And then, it's getting closer and closer. Then these dudes I never even heard of, Miles McBride or some shit, playing 47 minutes. Then you got Josh Hart, hitting that fade. It was over when he hit that fadeaway 3 in the corner. But it's crazy, even hits that. And and Dante DiVincenzo, right? He went off like crazy.
Makes me want to eat a pizza when you say his name.
Yeah. Bogdanovich went off, like he was hitting big shots, and that dump. And let's transition over to my boy Niang. I can't stand him anymore. I can't see one game I've watched recently where he's actually done anything. He can't even dribble the right goddamn way. It looks like he's going to turn it over every time he tries to drive in. Turns it over when he passes it. Bricks up these threes. And I thought he was a good signing. He did some stuff earlier in the year, but do you think he's in the playoff lineup? Because I don't. I wouldn't put him in there. He's a liability on defense and offense.
Yeah.
He can't do anything. It looks like, if you were out there, Ed, you could move like that.
Thank you. Before we go to Keith, do you have one nice thing to say about the Cleveland Cavaliers?
With Mitchell, thank God we got Donovan Mitchell. Holy shit. It's crazy. But Garland's been hitting threes, right? So that's interesting. That's good. I like that. He's trying to turn around, but there's some games he gets 9 points. And how does that happen? Fucking Strus. He has 2 good games, 3 good games, and he can't hit a 3. I love Merrill. I love when he's out there. He gives effort on defense. He's not the best defender, but he has such a quick shot. You can get a shot off like this. And having that's pretty important when you're getting off those pick and rolls and then those screens. I mean, it's huge. So I do like, how we look with Mitchell, but it hasn't been, too promising since the All-Star break. I felt real great going into the All-Star break.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. Keith, what do you?
I don't know, Keith. I don't know. But
Keith, tell the audience what you DM me today, because I think that's very, very telling of how you feel about the Cleveland Cavaliers. They are the what?
The Cavs are still. They haven't changed from last year. They're still soft, and they are, like Mobb Deep say, rest in peace, Prodigy. The Cavs are the shook ones.
It's crazy that, like you just said, how soft they are against the Knicks. Like they were out rebounding with 80-40 roughly, right?
Hart had
like
19.
That.
Josh Hart had 19.
Yeah, Josh Hart had 13, 19, and 10 he had.
They was out rebounded 47-39. But this was going on way before this game. It actually started in the first game immediately after the All-Star break when they played the Orlando Magic, and Franz Wagner punked you out in your own house. Punked you out in your own house. Then it continued. Philadelphia, no Embiid. Cavs lose twice to Philadelphia. And the crazy part is, what's the most disappointing part is, Philadelphia was getting housed by everybody. It was like somebody getting a train ran on. Everybody's taking a turn, but the Cavs.
Hey now.
And the Knicks even weren't looking too great.
Thank you, Casey. The Knicks is looking terrible last couple of games.
And Brunson going down right to start that in the first shot.
Brunson went down right in the beginning of the game. And you think, okay, we should have this.
Oh, yeah.
Not. DiVincenzo looked at like the return of Bernard King out there on us.
Oh, old
28.
School. Our 28. School. Question though, so I saw a lot of people on X and on social media saying that they want to blame JB Bickerstaff for his lineups, and they've been doing that consistently throughout the year. But and then people were saying it wasn't a lineup issue last night because of the guys that were down. It was more of a toughness issue. But isn't that? And I want to go to Keith and I'll go to you, Casey. Isn't the toughness issue? Isn't that a coaching issue? Right? Anybody want to take that or no?
I mean, it's crazy to me because you look at the team, you think they're tough, you think they're aggressive, and then you get some of these games like this where it's like, what are we doing here? It looks like Peyton Vince out in the court getting pushed around. I mean, it's the tricky thing. Like I said, a bit like the junkyard dog, chain and all that stuff too. Like, there
Thanks,
you go.
CJ.
I like JB Bickerstaff, but
what do you like about him?
It's like what CJ said last week. Well, CJ said last week makes a decent point. He said in the NBA, how many coaches do you really have that are, a difference maker to me? Like I don't see. It's the players. Right. To me, it matters more. The players are the ones doing the stuff. I was thinking about this when I was driving home last night. I said, if you don't have a top 5, like unicorn type player, do you really have a chance to win a championship? Because there's so many good teams, but there's no great teams. Like there's only a handful of those great teams. It matters to me more about the players and the coaches.
But I want to push back. I want to push back on that because CJ, I want to bring this setup again, and it was 19, CJ, 19, not 20. But here's the deal. You want to say, okay, it's not on the coaching, it's on.
He's calling me.
Oh, geez, it's on the players.
Don't take callers, CJ.
Welcome to the show, Peyton Vince. But here's the thing, Casey. It is a coaching thing. A coach needs to establish the culture of toughness. Maybe if the players aren't being tough, rebounding, hustling, then here's an idea. Bench them. Get somebody else in there that might actually play tough because that is on coaching to that aspect. You're right. You're not going to change the overall talent level of the team, but you can change the way they play games. It's the New York Knicks. We knew we got punked from them last year in the playoffs, and they come into our crib on Nick Gilbert night, on of all nights, Nick Gilbert night, and you let them bully us around again. To me, that is coaching a little bit.
I mean, I don't think like in the NBA it makes much of a difference. It's the rotations to me. I get, like the Hayes who decides the rotations, who's playing. Like I see that, but I mean, if these players are going to be soft, they're going to be soft. You know, that's my. I don't think like Jim Beeline. Yeah, he lasted 20 games, 10 games. I don't think the coaching really matters in the grand scheme of things to me in the NBA. Sadly, like. It's like fucking Belichick, though, even in the NFL. Like, once Brady was gone, you know, what does he know?
I'm just going to say this. The Knicks had 4 starters out.
4.
I agree.
4. You didn't have the whole starting front line was out. No Achinobi. No Anobi.
Close enough.
Ayanobi. No OG. No OG Anobi. No Julius Randle, no Mitchell Robinson. And then they lost Jalen Brunson a minute or 2 into the game.
And Hart played the whole game, too.
And Hart played the whole game. And this team still punked you and took your lunch money. And gave the Cavs a wedgie at that, with what Harden did at the end of the game when he hit that dagger at the end and pulled Donovan's chain. And basically said, y'all still are bitches.
Yeah, they're stinky.
Y'all still are bitches.
They're going to get bounced in the first round because they're soft as can be. There's zero toughness on this team. You have 2 7-footers, and you're out there letting Josh Hart get 20 rebounds.
And Josh Hart.
No Jalen Brunson. I got fucking George Niang just running around the court doing nothing. I got Karis LeVert shot 1 for 57 against Philadelphia 2 weeks ago, or whatever it was on Saturday night. Like, he stinks. This team, they stink. You're telling me Amani Bates can't come in and do what George Niang does, which is nothing?
Can I just walk around all like positive? Because we're probably going to end up crapping, shitting on the Cavs for a while. But could we just talk about, because we missed it for the show-wise, the only positive this week has been Max Strus and that amazing buzzer beater. But after that, I mean,
he stinks
it's gone downhill.
Yeah. We're over that, Peyton. That was fun. We're over
it, but it's a week show later.
Well, these guys want a bitch. They want a bitch.
That's a hollow moment.
Chicago put the boots to them.
Thank you, CJ.
72 rebounds, the Bulls. Then you're going to go get spanked by the Celtics.
Yep. Timberwolves.
They are so soft, and we talked about this coming out of the break. Like, these are the teams you got to beat. These are the games you got to win, and they're not going to do it because they're soft. The Knicks own them. We're like how the Raptors were to us. We will never beat the New York Knicks. That's the dumbest thing in the world to say. Josh Hart.
Think about this.
Triple-double from Josh Hart.
The Black Bookie put a bet on that. He called it.
Well, we'll get when we pay the bills. We got to give the Black Bookie some love here.
Think about this. That's one of our writers too. He's a Knicks fan too, and of course, I get a text message too, going, he has to rub it in too, and I'm like, that's great.
For every good game Max Strus has, he goes 2 of 9 later in the week. Don't you worry. Sam Merrill had 21 points and made 7 threes. Don't worry, he'll be on the bench the next 3 games.
Yeah. No, he's not. Donovan Mitchell's out for the next 3 games,
but he's not going to play. We're going to do this. Before this, before the game 2 nights ago or whatever it was, he sat. Sam Merrill, he's been for every fucking game.
And they put Niang in the fourth quarter.
Niang's out there, though.
Yep,
0-6. Dean Wade. You're telling me Imani Bates can't go 0-4 like Dean Wade?
Thank you.
Wide open threes?
I'm just saying, I texted you, Niang's getting 3 years, $25 million, too. It's not even like it's just this year, man.
And think about
what
this.
Do you do?
Yeah, go ahead, Keith.
It's always been excuses for this team. Had that been the Browns, they would have got ripped. They assholes would have been ripped in half.
Because nobody's paying attention.
Painful.
I don't know. Cavs Twitter. It does. It is a Cavs social media. I should rephrase this.
I want to go. Okay, I want to go around. Peyton, we'll start with you, Peyton. Then we'll go to Keith. Then we'll go to Casey. And then CJ, because we know CJ will be a level 1,000. Panic mode. What's your level of panic mode for the Cavs right now? From 1 to 10, what's your level of panic mode? 10 being like
Kelsey did it.
I mean, panic-wise, I want to say 65, but in reality, it's 75%. You got to be able to
1 to 10, wasn't it?
I'm going percentages wise.
Okay. So he's at 6.5.
He at 10,000%.
So what number would that be? 6.5?
Yeah, we're dumb. We're dumb. We're dumb. What was it?
What's
that
65.
So like 7.5, CJ. I could do multiples of 10.
What is this math? You go from 60% to 7.5.
Okay. Well, he's just smarter than us when it comes to mathematics.
Scott Steiner math up here. What is this shit?
So go ahead and what does that mean? Why is it a 7.5?
I mean, you ended up having some highs and lows this past week, and I bring up Max Strus, and afterwards Tim Alcorn's radio call is great, and post game they have.
It's the only thing you watched, dude, all week. Come on,
yeah. They should have lost
yesterday's game. Get out of here.
They should have lost that game.
Okay.
But you ended up they were talking in post game, and if they would have ended up actually streaking, you would have ended up having momentum going into this game against the Knicks. And I mean, I had my hopes up. I mean, I think I threw out the number last week.
The Knicks have no momentum. They're 3-7 in the last 10.
Yeah.
CJ, can I finish? Jesus. He just does not stop.
You're not seeing the big picture here.
But can I finish my statement before you end up going on your 10,000 rants? Land of 10,000 rants? But anyways,
I've lost control of this show.
Yeah, it's been gone.
Blame me. It's fine. My throat kind of hurts, so I'm kind of letting CJ just go. It makes my job easier tonight.
So the dog got replaced this week with the peanut butter.
Whoa! Whoa.
Ed got replaced. Heyo. But I mean, you ended up having the possibility of momentum being on their side after that game. They should have ended up, if they could have built off that. That was the game you build off of. And instead, it's gone downhill. I mean, the Knicks, they ended up attacking early on. And in the first quarter, Cavs were down by 8. Then they ended up making it close throughout. I mean, in comparison, that Cavs game was almost like Ohio State versus Iowa, the women's game. They kept it within 10. That Ohio State game with Iowa, the Cavs kept it within 10. If you keep it within 10 going into the fourth quarter, usually you could at least make a run and make it competitive. And, I mean, they almost did until the end. And they almost still had a shot at it for whatever reason. But the downfall, the panic mode, I'm not even panicked about the Cavaliers season this year. I'm more panicked about Donovan Mitchell staying because after I think Ed said it about Josh Hart, the stare down, the chain pull, that was a message. That was a message that greener pastures are in New York with the Knicks. That's what's going to happen.
That was a message that you are our bitch.
You're telling me you'd want to go to a team if a guy does that to you?
Out here pulling on your chain, punking you on national TV.
Yeah, I took that as
if
Mitchell for us.
If Mitchell goes to New York, Hart's not going to be there then. Let's just say that.
Putting up triple doubles on his shitty ass team.
Yeah, and Hartenstein looking like a stud
last year. Yeah,
fucking Hartenstein.
I'm saying we're not
Keith, your level. We'll go around. Keith, your level of panic here, and please no decimal points. We're stupid on this show.
You say 60%, AK 7.5.
Level of panic. As far as the regular season gonna be what it's gonna be. But the playoffs, and I'm gonna tell you right now, in the playoffs, if you look at the playoffs right now, the Cavs are slated to take on the Orlando Magic. Weakness of the Cavs, a team with multiple bigs. And they're all physical. Van Caro was physical. Wendell Carter is physical.
Mo Wagner is.
You got Franz Wagner coming at you.
Yeah, but I know Mo's a dick.
Intimidating you and shoving Evan Mobley down the lane. Physical. And you got Cole Anthony that can get in Darius Garland shorts. That's a go-home date.
Mo put up 22 against them.
That's what I'm saying, man. Ever since he's been on the Wizards, every fucking time he plays us, he kills us. It's like various players for the Tigers and the Twins when they play us. The same shit. Those dudes kill us.
And the thing I'm tired of hearing from JB is, we let our guards down. How the hell you let your guards down against a team that has took your lunch? Smacked you in front of everybody in your house, took your dinner, took your mama and your daddy's dinner plate at home.
On ESPN.
How do you
and the whole country
on national TV? On national TV, so the whole nation had to see it. So Stephen A. was probably had a heart attack when he seen Jalen Brunson go down, but then when he watched the rest of the game, was just smiling like, Cavs ain't ready. Donovan just come home. And honestly, Donovan probably done ready to sell ship on this team because look, you got to your overrated point guard.
Highest paid player on the team.
Nobody talks about his money, but you let Deshaun give a performance like that, they'd have ripped this dude in half. But somehow,
Deshaun's got some Johnny Manziel stats. That's all that going on.
Hey, now we'll get into that.
Toaster over the red.
But for somehow, some way, Darius always seems to get a pass.
Yeah.
Evan Mobley ain't changed shit about his game in 3 years.
He made 2 threes and we all wet our pants.
And think about this. I'm looking at
Spurs.
I'm looking at Chet Holmgren pull up like a point guard shooting threes. I'm looking at Wembanyama pull up, shooting threes, doing everything else. And I mean,
so Keith, what was your number? I didn't get your number.
He never said it.
He was building up to it.
Well, I just curious.
The panic meter, I would say it's 7.5. 7.5 to an 8.
Uh-oh. Stop it. So we'll get into this. I want to say that
everybody was wondering at home.
Yeah, that post was huge post right there.
7.5 to an 8. But like I said, if the Cavs play Indiana, they're going home. Indiana done housed them twice.
Yep.
Cavs play Miami, we ain't even gonna talk about that. That might be a sweep. Only good thing the Cavs got that they might not have to see New York in the first round. If they play Chicago got the blueprint to beat the Cavs. Get physical. Guess who's there? Andre Drummond. And
the Thunder are the top team too in the West, and I know you mentioned that with Chet. And I mean, they're 42-8. It's mind blowing.
Evan Mobley hit those threes against the Spurs. He's 6-19. That's 31%, right? He shot 61% from the line in February. It's just
we're getting smarter.
He hit 3 threes against the Spurs. We all got such a hard on, and he's back to being Evan Mobley.
Take your ED pills if you can't.
Yeah, and there's no maltodextrin.
Yeah, right. Thank you. CJ, you're a really smart guy. It's really amazing. Casey in Orlando, what is your panic meter? Where you at?
I mean, for regular season, we're making the playoffs, obviously, so not worried about that. But I don't think that I feel too comfortable going into the playoffs. So whatever our goal is this year, my goal is to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. So don't think it's happening now. So I guess it's a 10 because I don't think it's happening. Yeah. So just depends how you look at it. What was your expectations going into the year? But for me to see them making the Eastern Conference Finals, I think that's not happening now. But it is what it is. And like everything Keith said, I do tend to agree with there. There's not really a team I feel comfortable playing against.
Is there a team we could beat, Casey? Is there a team that we could beat right now? I mean, Keith said we're not beating Miami.
The Pistons.
We're beating Orlando. We're not. I mean, who can we?
I mean,
Pistons.
I could see it going either way.
The Wizards. I feel like we beat the Wizards once a week.
There's not a team that I feel like okay. Every team underneath us, I think we could in a 7-game. If we're on our A game, we could beat them, right? I think we could if we're on our A game, but. Are we going to be able to throw 4 games together where we're better than their team? That's the tough thing about it.
Yeah, pull the standings up.
Yeah, so
Knicks just took our lunch. Sixers put the boots to us without Joel Embiid.
Thank you.
Orlando just put the boots to us. We're not beating the Heat in a 7-game series. Fucking suppose I'll coach them Bickerstaff 10 times out of 10. What else? Pacers maybe. Halliburton's going to need to have off times. I think the Bulls are after that. They just beat us in double OT, and they played really good the other day before that. Then the Hawks? Well, let's see what we do against the Hawks after we play the Celtics. We play the Hawks after the Celtics.
And you know why the Cavs won't beat none of those teams? If you look at the coaching advantage and the point guard advantage, look at this. Chicago Bulls. Kobe White is playing better than Darius Garland.
DG.
And you give Billy Donovan a slight edge there. Boom. Yeah. Indiana Pacers. Halliburton, no contest. Halliburton and Carlisle.
No contest.
No. Miami Heat.
Spoelstra. Yep.
Spoelstra? No. Orlando Magic. We got a shot, but Orlando know the blueprint.
No, but Jamal Mosley's their coach. He's got coach of the month multiple times this year.
Yes.
So.
You got Nick Nurse. You got Tibbs, right?
Yeah.
So who are the Cavs beating in a 7-game series with JB at the helm? Who?
Who's the head coach? Where do you go to from here? If you want JB out, what's the next option?
He's not going to be out because he's going to be.
I think he'll be out at the end of the year, though.
Round. That's what I'm saying. They're going to get bounced in the first round, so he's going to be out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
he makes fired though after the first round back-to-back.
Chris Holtman's available.
Yeah, let's go 0-82 this next.
Yeah, there you go. Better draft pick. They got a better draft pick.
Get an Ohio State guy. I'm sure that's going to end up it's going to pan out as well as Jared Sellinger probably.
Yeah. Well, we'll get Jake Diebler up in Cleveland. There you go. He turns programs around. But
and the thing also that also kills me, the Cavs, the only ferocity the Cavs show is to the refs.
Yeah.
Struce fucking cries every time.
Struce gives the refs the blues, but when dude pulled Donovan's chain, I ain't see nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Up in Josh Hart's face. Nobody. And honestly, in the middle of the month, I'll be glad when Tristan Thompson comes back.
Yeah, 7 games.
You need a bruiser at that point. Like, you honestly need a bruiser, and that might be your only saving grace come the playoffs. But, I mean, CJ said it best in this comment that 2 7-footers are soft.
Yeah, they're soft.
I mean,
as can be.
Double team, the only hope that you could end up being able to be legitimate, and he could end up showing you how to be a bruiser, and that's going to be his job come the playoffs. That's it, though.
Because think about it. A dude hit a jumper dead in Mobley's face, then goes pull Donovan's chain in front of the owner.
I can't believe nothing happened.
I know.
In front of Dan Gilbert, and nothing happened. It was you even seen a guy on the bench smiling. You even seen Sharif Cooper smiling, crack a smile. It's like, what kind of shit is this? And then on top of this, JB's rotations is terrible. He went with Niang too long. Then he took Merrill out in the fourth quarter, and you can see on the bench, Donovan Mitchell was looking like, what is he doing? Like he asked Merrill, like, is you tired? Was you tired?
Is your shooting hand
making too many shots? Right. Making too many shots. He's in the Osmond doghouse. Like last year.
I'm afraid to ask this because it's only fair. CJ, your panic level.
About as good as his hairline.
Go.
Like an 8.
8. Okay.
I mean, his hair does make an 8, like the here and then the.
I mean, I'm realistic about this team. I've been saying it all year. I don't think they're that good, right? They're soft. Mobley's a scrub, right? I've been saying like this is all stuff I've been saying. And it just gets exposed when they play good teams. They play bad teams. Oh, you beat Washington. Oh, Donovan Mitchell carried your sorry asses. And I mean, that's the only way they're going to go far is Mitchell put the team on his back because JB's going to do whatever he can to hold this team back.
Mitchell's your only saving grace if you're the Cavs, honestly. And the whole rest of this week, he's out. They already ended up saying that
against Washington 2 games ago, Sam Merrill played 6 minutes. Against Philly, he played 12. And in that game, LeVert shot 1 for like 47. Orlando, 12 minutes. Philly, the other time where they lost, 9 minutes. Toronto, 10 minutes. Brooklyn, 12. He's just like, what does Sam Merrill got to do to get some minutes?
He has 3 or 4 games with 7, 8 3-pointers made, though, too, and dropping 21,
he
24
points. 31 minutes when they beat the Magic, and he put up 26 points. 18 points when they beat the Hawks, and he played 30. Like, just get fucking – like, what are we doing?
When he played the Magic last time, too, he went off. Or the time before that, he went off.
It's just it's some sorry shit, Adam.
Right. And then what does Craig Porter have to do to get playing time?
Yeah. These guys can't get any playing time. No minutes.
Donovan Mitchell and LeVert out.
Gotta get the G-Wagon out there.
But yet, the kid from New York, McBride, played 47 minutes last
putting
night.
boots to him all night.
Never even heard of him.
Not
you know what? Peyton's right. Is it baseball season yet?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I need some Tigers baseball in my life.
Tigers.
Does Peyton have some hot takes? Have some hot takes on
Give me a hot take, Peyton, right now.
I got a hot take.
Terrence
Martinez. This is Eddie Columbus with your We Like Sportz breaking news.
How did my screen change?
Caitlin Clark broke the all-time scoring record in college basketball, while LeBron James surpassed 40,000 points this past weekend. With all this scoring, maybe even our own CJ can get some action. Hey now.
I got the same amount of points as LeBron in college.
The Ohio State men's basketball team defeated Michigan at Value City Arena. So the football Buckeyes have decided to install hoops where the goalposts sit when the Wolverines come to Columbus this fall. Makes sense. Since the Buckeyes are buying a winner and Michigan has no Harbaugh, it should be a layup.
Yeah, I
and
can't score as much as
finally,
that dog.
Former Cleveland Browns wide receiver Braylon Edwards saved the life of an 80-year-old man at a YMCA.
Surprised he didn't
being
drop
assaulted by a 25-year-old. Braylon was asked his thoughts and said, "If catching a football was as easy as catching a criminal, I'd be a Hall of Famer." And this is Eddie Columbus with you. We like sports. Breaking news.
All right, Ed, so before I go, I got to know about the Johnny and Watson comparison that you just set the internet on fire with.
Fair enough.
Just give me the story.
It did set the internet on fire. You are correct.
I was seeing it on my timeline from other people. That I follow.
Here's the deal. So Saturday, I was on the X. I was on the X and I was scrolling. And then I saw that Johnny had said he wasn't going to go to the Heisman ceremony about the Reggie Bush thing and everything. I thought that was very admirable. But then I saw a bunch of Cleveland cucks once again taking shots at my Johnny Manziel. We all know Johnny flamed out, and I get it. But look, he had his own demons. And, Johnny didn't even try. So I thought to myself, Johnny didn't give a shit. Johnny put in 0 hours of film work, and he put up some numbers. And I looked at those numbers, and I thought, oh, my God, those numbers look like somebody that I know. Those numbers that somebody that I know is one Deshaun Watson. And then people coming at me, calling me a racist and calling me a cuck and calling me this and that. And the Watson Warriors coming at me. All I was pointing out was the fact that one Johnny Manziel didn't give a shit about football and is basically doing what Deshaun Watson is doing now. And here's the thing.
Good Johnny was.
For all the Watson Warriors out there, I want to say this. Look, I want Watson to be good because I'm a Cleveland Browns fan. But here's the deal. He got injured, and I understand that. But before he got injured, he looked like crap against Cincinnati. He had a chance to beat Pittsburgh in that final drive. He didn't get it done. So let's be real. So what has he done in the 6 games, the 11 games before he got hurt? And that's what I was comparing basically with Johnny Manziel. And he's put up basically around a 79 rating. He's put up about 7 touchdowns a year and about 4 to 5 interceptions. So here's the thing. Baker Mayfield, and my point was this. Baker Mayfield was with Stefanski, and we're talking about 2020. The year that Baker puts up, basically 28 touchdowns and about 10 interceptions, those are Stefanski numbers. Why can't Watson, I wasn't asking for him to put up 28 touchdowns in only a limited amount of games. But if you look at the touchdown to interception ratio of 7 to 5, that isn't going to translate to what even Baker did. So all the people coming at me, look, Deshaun Watson isn't playing like Deshaun Watson. You can make all the excuses you want to. And I'm not saying he's not the quarterback of the future. I'm not saying he's not going to be good. But what we've gotten so far in Cleveland,
it just feels like it's what you're saying.
Stop celebrating mediocrity. He's played like crap, and I'm sick of it. We deserve better. Thank you.
Can you go over the
Baker Mayfield?
But can I say those are
I
just
saw another guy
hold on.
talk about wanting Fields instead of Watson.
Go ahead, Keith.
Hold on. But okay, you got Johnny Manziel, 7 TDs, 5 interceptions. That's his whole career.
Right, no,
let's go Watson's whole career.
And another point, Keith, I'm glad you said that, because somebody came at me and said, well, Watson played more than just 2 seasons. Yeah, Watson should be better than that. The fact that Johnny was a rookie and that was his second year. Johnny only played basically a year and a half in this league. Watson's played for how many years and put up about 5,000 yards. For Watson to come to Cleveland and be as bad as he's been, there's really no excuse for it. There's really not. And people that are making excuses, and people are like, well, look at the win-loss. Johnny, look at the defense the Browns had under Manziel. Yeah, Watson should be better with a win-loss percentage. If Johnny would be playing on these teams, he'd be better than he was to 2-6. So stop saying, the win-loss. It's first off, win-losses aren't a QB stat, and these teams are a lot better than what Johnny had. So I don't buy that argument. Look, I want Watson to be better. I think he can be better. He was showing signs of it. He was 14 of 14 at Baltimore. The argument wasn't that I hated Watson. The argument was this is what we've gotten so far in Cleveland for the money. That's all I was saying. But people don't know how to read. They know how to read, or they're trying to infer something. That's not what I said.
And I got your back.
Thank you,
Johnny's
CJ.
halfback. The leading rusher in 2014. Can you name him?
In 2014?
Rusher in 2014.
Crowell?
Brian Westbrook.
Terrence West.
No. Terrence fucking West.
yeah, and that's my whole point.
Honestly, though, that Terrence West ain't that much better than Ford.
No, I
agree. How are you gonna make I got Terrence fucking West?
Honestly,
So I just want to say this.
44, Ben Tate.
Number 2 receiver, Miles Austin.
Oh, geez. Yeah. I just want to say this. So everybody out there, I don't hate
Miles Austin is an upgrade over Elijah Moore.
Do you want to say that one more time for the people in the back?
I don't hate Deshaun Watson, and I think he's going to be good. I'm a Browns fan. That's not my point. Everybody's jumping down my throat. That's
Feels
not
like you hate Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I was going to say, no offense to you here, but
I don't hate Deshaun. And also,
I've never seen you this passionate ever. So
they call me a racist and all this thing. And then here's the thing. Now I see the Justin Fields things, and
he had to send this one out.
There it is. Last time I checked, Justin Fields was of the African American variety. So even if he comes to Cleveland, you can't call me a racist on that one either. Look, I love the Browns. I just want them to be better. That's all.
Where's that January 6th photo of who was there? Because I know Ed wasn't in it. Ed wasn't in that January 6th
well,
picture.
Speaking of,
there right there.
Hey, easy.
We're not.
We don't condone that.
We don't condone that. We don't condone that. But we will say one thing. There it is.
Pulling the other tweet out.
I don't know how to find that one.
Hitler. He's doing that.
That's the one for Justin Fields. Come on now.
Is that a custom-made jersey for number one?
It was a custom-made jersey. It's me.
Yeah, they're not getting
the
Justin
number 1
Fields.
draft pick.
Yeah. Well, it's me. It was mine. I made my own jersey. And what other number could I give myself but one?
Adding Columbus in the back on it?
Columbus in the back, I think. Just in Columbus.
Yeah.
Just get you a number 7 and put Brissett back on there. That's all.
Okay. Well, I break news. I hear he's probably going back to New England because they're going to draft a quarterback at 3, and he's going to be that bridge quarterback again.
At 3.
They said Flacco was rumored to go to New England too.
Yeah, but I think they're going with Jacoby Brissett. That's what I'm hearing.
Did
Flacco
you see
Browns? Who knows?
You see Jason Kelsey bawling his eyes out today?
Oh yeah, retirement.
Retire.
Yeah.
And
also, can't talk about the Kelsey brothers, man.
I know the douchebag's next to me.
Yeah,
over there, so.
they got a strong army, the Kelsey brothers.
And the biggest news is Denver is deciding to move on from Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Which
that was just an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, Bo Nix is the number 1 favorite player to start a game for them next year.
I saw that. Yeah.
Where Peyton is sitting there coy and quiet.
Yeah.
Hey,
Justin Fields.
To Pittsburgh, so be it.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, he wants.
Hey, who do you want?
Justin Fields.
If you could pick between Justin Fields or Russell Wilson,
or Duck Hodges, if you can get Duck Hodges back, what would you?
He's definitely picking Mason Rudolph. I saw that January.
Seneca Wall. We got
to stop
David Gerard. What if you get David Gerard back?
I'll answer for him. He wants Kenny Pickett back.
Yes.
Oh,
I got the jersey.
Spot on. I got the jersey exactly.
He wants Kenny Pickett back.
But honestly, I mean, Russell Wilson. The thing is, too, is that's the worst part is the best thing about Kenny Pickett is statistically his record. He's successful.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's about it. Russell Wilson, I mean, I don't know what the drama ensues if he comes to Pittsburgh after seeing how Denver went in that experience.
Right.
And Justin Fields, I mean, I don't even want to say he's mediocre, but I mean, he's a tough quarterback when he hasn't shown out in Chicago the way he should have outside of his rookie year.
Peyton, this is perfect. I got a list of free agents for you. Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield, Josh Dobbs, Ryan Tannehill, Gardner Minshew, Jimmy G, Jacoby Brissett, Jameis Winston. Those all sound like good Steelers to me.
Kirk Cousins, I like.
There's some good quarterbacks on that list, though.
Gardner Minshew.
Minshew mania after last
He sounds like a Steelers. He sounds like a Steelers.
Okay, I revised my statement. There's some quarterbacks on that list that are better than what was in Pittsburgh.
Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell sounds like a good Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. You fit in there. Desmond Ritter.
Sam Howell's the one that I've heard on WeLikeSportz.com.
Mitch, I heard you traded for Kyler Murray, maybe too. That was another thing I saw.
Does it come with the Xbox or a draft pick?
I'm just telling you.
I want
your Xbox 360.
You gotta have the other dual controller too, though.
Do you have a whiteboard above you too, Casey? I keep on seeing you look up.
Yeah,
I have it with the TV above me.
Oh, there you go.
That's why I saw the free agent list. Yeah.
Yeah. There is something that's been taking over. It is the hottest, newest segment.
CJ's favorite segment.
In 2024 and beyond. Don't forget to tune in to
So we're going to have the great debate. Oh, yeah.
the We Like Sportz Show presents to you the Great Debate.
Well, we don't have CJ this week on another rousing edition of the Great Debate, but we got Casey in Orlando. and Keith. And, I think this will be the two that we pit together. And you know what? After CJ's objections to some of the questions
last week, yeah.
I took over this
setting him up like a dickhead. Yeah, that's what the situation
I took
was.
over this week. And I just want to say that we've fixed all the improprieties. There's going to be no more, playing sides or favorites and everything like that. We want fair, great debates, and that's, we want to make sure that this is not like real life, I guess, per se. So what we'll do here is, I have something that happened that I talked about in Breakhead News. We talked about Caitlin Clark. We talked about LeBron James scoring, but here is the question. Scoring records, are they even meaningful? And one's going to take the side that they are, one's going to take the side that they aren't. But here's what I'm looking for. I want these answers to incorporate this. The difference with the 3-point lines or the number of games played, because a lot of these scoring records, with time, things have changed. And you know what I'm saying? So maybe it's easier to get the scoring records now than it was in the past. So are they as meaningful? So that's kind of my hint and kind of what I want to see in these answers. Casey, I'm going to flip this phone right here. Back or front?
Easy. That's a lot of money. We don't got coverage for that.
Yeah, well. Oh, look at this. Okay, come on now.
What happened?
I like this. This is what I like right here.
I don't know what I gotta switch. Hold on a second, because they're playing games with me, Keith. They're playing. There we go. There you go. All right.
So I think we should do whoever's up. We should split in that camera.
Yeah, I'm flipping it. I'm flipping it. And it is that. So that was Casey. Casey, you're going to take the position that scoring records are still meaningful. Minute and a half.
I got the timer. Are you ready?
We're saying, all right. Yeah, sure.
Ready? Ed, give me a countdown.
3, 2, 1, go.
Minute and a half.
All right. If you look at the all-time scoring leaders, right? You look at basketball, for example. If you look at the names up there, how many names do you think are up there that don't belong as a top player? I mean, there you go. Perfect. Ed's a top player. He's the leading scorer in the men's league, so I get that. But my thing is, though, like I said, in order to be a good player, like, yes, we have players who don't score that are up there as all-time greats. But in order to carry a team, you have to step up when it matters. And how do you step up? You score when it matters, right? So at the end of the game, you're not getting clapped for this unless you're LeBron. We're passing the ball away, and if he passes it, guess what happens? Why didn't you shoot the ball, LeBron? You should have shot the ball. We know this. How many times did it happen on the Cavs, right?
Renewable.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. He passes it. Come on, you're an alpha male. Take a shot. You got to score. If he drives it, what the hell? You got to pass the ball next time. There's an open guy in the corner, right? So at the end of the day, you got to be able to score, though. If you can't score, you're not winning games. Look at Donovan Mitchell. He's the leading scorer. He's out for the Cavs right now. What are the Cavs? Not good, right? So it's clear when I watch basketball, when you look at, again, championship teams, it's a rare occurrence where Andre Iguodala wins the MVP of the finals, right? Doesn't happen often. Does not happen often. Does he deserve it? No. Who deserved it? Leading scorer. So my view of it, yes, I think scoring records do matter because in order to be an all-time great, you have to be at the top of the scoring rankings like that, right? So and it shows your longevity of playing. Look at LeBron. It's going to be hard to beat him just because of the length of how long he's playing for and how good he's playing for that. So I just think, like I said, yes, they do matter because you're a top name up there when you hit it. So that means you're an all-time great, I feel like, if you're a top scorer.
Nice.
30 seconds to go, too, so with time.
Wow.
Perfect. I'm just kidding.
Keith, now you have to take the position of scoring records. They're not. They matter, but they're not that important.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Set, go.
Scoring records don't really matter that much in this day and age. Now, they probably mattered back in the 80s, back in the 90s. But nowadays and age, it is about championships. Rings. Because right now, Caitlin Clark got the scoring record at Iowa. But the biggest question is, can she get that NCAA championship to go out on top? LeBron James, he got the scoring record. But the question is, well, it ain't even a question no more because first it was, could he catch Michael Jordan? But now it's, can he go out on top? Because the Lakers are contenders. Iowa is contenders. And I'm quite sure both of them would tell you they don't care about the scoring record because they just want to win it all.
Wow. Well, I mean, when I think that when you talk championships and what that means,
but you got to win championship by scoring. Look at the top scorers: LeBron James, all-time great.
You know, I'm gonna
Michael
actually,
Jordan, top 5, all-time great. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, top 5, all-time great. Kobe Bryant, top 10, right? But he's top 5 in scoring.
I'm gonna make Peyton be the judge today. I just want to say this. I would give you guys both. I would call that a draw on that one because those were both equal. Keith, when you answered the question and you said championships, that was what I was looking for. That's the only right answer right there. Honestly, that's not. And honestly, Casey, as well, you answered it perfectly. So it's going to come down to Peyton. On this one.
Caitlin Clark would rather scored 15 points against LSU last year.
Yeah. That's why I did this. That's why I was going like Angel Reese. Yeah,
I'm a big Angel Reese fan up above me. I'm going to see an LSU jersey on next week for him.
Because Angel Reese
with your leg sleeve, with your one leg sleeve,
12, and LSU got the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, though, if you have me judging, it's honestly a coin flip too. That's a really difficult one. And I mean, both arguments are valid because Casey brings up a great point with Caitlin Clark and LeBron. I mean, if it wasn't in LeBron's case is because he's been around for as long as he has. Same thing with Caitlin Clark. I mean, she's been around for as long as she has, and she's a dominant scorer. I mean, it's definitely reputable that she passed Pistol Pete Maravich. I mean, that's huge. That's something that doesn't really happen too often. But in the end, though, if you ended up looking at, again, example of yesterday's game, Iowa against Ohio State. Iowa was ranked going into that game 6th in the nation because they lost 3 or 4 times, I believe, in the conference. Yeah. Yep. And Ohio State lost once, and they beat them. So obviously the rankings are changing. Yep. But you almost want to end up saying that the scoring doesn't matter. Like, I'm kind of leaning towards that way because you want to win a championship. You want to win the NCAA tournament overall, too. And at the end of the day, LeBron James and points records, absolutely, they do matter to a point. But if you're talking percentages, I guess it doesn't matter as much as winning a championship because LeBron's multiple times has tried to stack the deck as best as he can to end up winning a championship. And he's not a solo act. I mean, Anthony Davis, he's not great, but he's somebody that's trying to make it reputable for him to win a championship. And in reality, if it was for scoring and it was about the individual statistic, I mean, the individual would end up being able to win a championship. They wouldn't even be a question for a point score. You would end up talking about Kareem, LeBron, Kobe. You'd be talking about championships out the wazoo just because of the fact that they've been that dominant. That's just one individual. If Sam Merrill, for example, ends up having a scoring championship or a scoring title, it doesn't like I don't expect the Cavs to win anything whatsoever with him.
Well, he was a leading scorer last night. They didn't win. You know what? I'm going to say this. We won't even score this one. We'll just carry it on over to the next one because, you know what? It was such a great question and, pat on my back right there. But you guys answered it both brilliantly. So we'll move on to the second question here in the great debate. And this is one that
made up for last week, obviously.
Yeah, this is one that Peyton's going to love, and I don't think you guys are going to love it so much, but I had to do it. Maybe it's a little preview of
who's the better second baseman, Ronnie Belliard or
no? I would love that. I would love that one. That's my era, you know that. But it's going to maybe be a little preview of what's to come in a future show coming up in a couple of weeks.
Casey likes it. I know which way he's going.
But here's the deal: hockey or NASCAR? What is the better sport? Jeez.
I think you should give me NASCAR.
I'm going to give you NASCAR. I'm going to give Keith hockey because I'm a racist here. So that's what I'm going to do here.
Yeah, exactly. Stereotyping us.
So, Keith, I'll have you go first.
Okay.
Hockey is better than NASCAR.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Your time starts now.
Hockey is a team sport, total team sport, and the grind to glory to get the Stanley Cup is incredulous. They go through more physical anguish than football, basketball, baseball, with the physicality of football. But you got to remember, each series is 7 games. Now, can you imagine a football team having to play 3 games against a another individual team just to advance, that would never happen.
The Browns would need 20 quarterbacks.
Wait.
And plus, hockey, you got teams from all around where you got expansion teams going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Vegas Knights did it a few years ago when they came into existence. Didn't the Seattle Kraken make the playoffs last year in their first year of existence? So it's like really anybody with the chance can take advantage of that opportunity in hockey. It's the ultimate sport, and plus, I'll fall asleep half the time watching the car races. But hockey is full of action.
Nice. Casey, you will rebut that and say hockey is
worse than NASCAR.
Yes, it's not as good as NASCAR.
Hold on.
All right. Let me tell me when Peyton. I got Peyton's all juiced up on NASCAR recently. So
yeah, 3 for 3 on races, brother. I don't know what I'm doing here. All right, are you ready? 3, 2, 1. The Daytona 500 starts now.
Booty, boys, let's go racing is the opening to that. But with Keith, I will just match his points and say why I'm right and he's wrong on these points. Keith did say anybody could win, right? Anybody could win in hockey. No, you have no really favorites do it. If you look at the Daytona 500 winners over the last, let's say, 15 years, I bet you a normal casual fan would have no idea who they are. Peyton might not even know who they are because the Daytona 500, for example, is starting the season. Anybody could win that. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. won it last year before William Byron. I don't think Peyton maybe knows who that is. I'm not really sure. Trevor Bayne. Who the hell is Trevor Bayne? It's the only race I think he won in his NASCAR career. So every race could have a different winner, especially the super speedways, full of wrecks. Peyton knows this the last 3 weeks. 2 weeks ago was Lightning McQueen finish, right? It was a tongue out to win the race.
Yep.
Whole intense race, great, right? And Keith saying hockey is the most aggressive, physical, demanding, etc. Those NASCARs get 135 degrees inside. They're sitting in there for 4 hours driving. People died. Ed's favorite NASCAR driver in the world, Dale Earnhardt.
The Intimidator.
He has the tattoo right here of his glasses.
Hey, that's my only fan. So only
with the autograph underneath it.
Yeah.
And he's a closet fan. He doesn't want to admit it, but we all know it's Dale. Get the fuck out here. So speaking of Dale Earnhardt, went to a country concert 2 weeks ago. The drummer for one of the singers had Dale Earnhardt on the drum set. Shout out to Peyton. See, I'm not seeing no goddamn Seattle Kraken things on drum sets. I'm not seeing no goddamn Columbus Blue Jackets when Jake Owen's going down to the Nationwide Arena in Columbus when that's taking his family there. I don't see that. Do I? But what do I see? I see number 3 Dale Earnhardt with his face all over, right? On the drum set. So I think NASCAR is high paced, interesting. A good thing to put on, doing stuff around, playing on your phone, good thing to watch. Keep your eye on it. It's enjoyable, right? I think that's NASCAR's better to watch than hockey.
Okay. Before Peyton judges, I just want to say this. Another great question. Columbus. Here's why. Because it brought out 2 great answers. Keith, your answer, I loved your answer about the team. I thought maybe Casey was going to bring in the whole teamwork thing. I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah, teamwork in the pit crews.
I'm glad you didn't, honestly, because you only see the names and the one drive. I'm glad you didn't use that counter argument because it is an argument, but no fan really cares about guys putting on tires. They do, but they don't.
It is a difference maker.
But I liked how you invoked me because anytime anybody talks about me, I love it, and you did a great job there. But no, I thought you did a cultural thing by talking about how the relativity of it when it comes to it relates and everything. I thought those were great answers by both of you. I would say that's a coin toss as well. To me, it goes down to the third question. But Peyton, chime in and what do you think about these fellas' answers? I thought they were brilliant.
They were great. This is actually looking like how politics should be. It should be what it is. It comes down to the very wire. Everybody should be watching the great debate. If you want your political fix, you watch We Like Sportz on Mondays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Or
we don't.
Just pay attention to the Twitter. We'll tell you when we're on because that's what you got to do. But anyways, We Like Sportz. We bring back and we make sports great again. But anyways, on a serious note, Casey said that Dale Earnhardt died, which is absolutely facts. And my favorite driver growing up, believe it or not, was Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale's son. But on the counter side, Keith didn't mention this, but to end up arguing his point, somebody ended up having their neck sliced open in hockey.
I was just about to say that.
With the Iron Lotus and Blades of Glory, someone chopped their head off in that movie too. I get it.
I got a question. I think he intentionally did
Chaz
that.
Michael.
Casey, do you think he intentionally did that? I do.
Dale Earnhardt crashed into a wall.
I think the guy murdered somebody on the hockey.
Oh, they talking about the NASCAR. I was like, no.
Casey, we're talking about the one guy with the got. I think he did that on purpose.
He's getting trial. Like, he's on trial for a reason, or was on trial.
Yeah, with that guy that was what's it called? The Paralympic dude that shot someone in the house. Remember?
Yeah. Blade Runner. Yeah.
Yeah, Blade Runner. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, honestly though, like. Again, Ed has redeemed this segment. CJ is going to be so upset.
Ed's redeemed it. What about me and Keith? Keith normally doesn't debate.
We have all redeemed it. And you know who's going to win? The audience when they watch this.
Because we make sports great again.
Well,
put it on merch.
I'll be honest with you. This third.
Got a third one? Okay.
I got the tiebreaker. I got the third tiebreaker right here. This one might set us back a little bit. I'll be honest with you. And here it is.
Oh boy, here we go.
Because CJ's not here right now, does CJ make the We Like Sportz Show better or not? Peyton, I'm gonna have you pick. This is gonna be fun. Peyton, you pick which side each one.
Yeah. Oh man.
I know. But CJ's gonna get mad anyways and hate me, so it's all good. So.
Yeah. Casey has to say that CJ makes the show worse.
Okay.
Keith,
I was ready for the positive. I had it.
Nope. And Keith has to make it that CJ makes sports great again.
You would have gave it too easy for me because Keith can't be mean, man. It's hard to see Keith be mean. So
I'd rather see Casey be mean to him because I think that.
I think Keith would be shocking us all. He'd be shocking the world and be like, you know what? CJ's a piece of shit, and nobody would have it.
Yeah. Who do we want
going first?
We'll let Keith set the bar.
Yeah. That way, you go first and say. So CJ makes the We Like Sportz Show better. 3, 2, 1, go.
CJ makes the We Like Sportz Show better because the dude is raw. For real. He doesn't hide where he's coming from. Like I seen on the interview a couple of weeks ago when CJ was just up in his own world basically on the interview because it's like basically a snooze fest for him. But CJ's also a coach and everything, so he puts in a lot of work. And CJ gives you his real view upon sports. Might sound sarcastically, but it works. It definitely works. And I definitely appreciate it. I ain't going to even lie. I definitely appreciate it because everybody got to have their own unique personality, and CJ has that.
He does.
I'm done.
Shout out to the Motor City Madman.
Bonus points.
Yeah.
I feel like you can't kiss CJ's ass too much though without him actually getting an ego. So that's why we have to cut it to under a minute for this one.
Well spoken for though. Well spoken.
I'm sure Casey could end up going over a minute and a half.
I hope he does. Go ahead, Casey. You have the floor.
You gotta let loose, man.
I will say this. These are not what I feel. I do agree with Keith in this one, so I'm stuck against the 8 ball here. But
you know what? All the great TikTokers on the We Like Sportz Show TikTok are going to end up loving the fact that the dickhead in the bottom left, Casey, is going to be against the one that was the jerk in the bottom right from last week.
That's right. He was called he wants to bring up stuff on X, but our own CJ was called what was he called? A douche? What was he called?
A douchebag. So I'm going to speak for the TikTokers of America, the We Like Sportz watchers, with CJ being a douchebag. What makes CJ and Travis Kelce different? Only thing I know is the hairline and the bald spot. So I can't see that. Same personality, acts the same way. Disrespects Peyton, disrespects Ed on this show, disrespects our listeners, talking like they don't know what they're talking about. Tony from wherever the hell he's from, hey, he's a smart guy, right? He's a smart guy. He's using TikTok. He knows how TikTok works. So at least he's got a phone, got some internet. He's watching us. I mean, he's got to be a bright guy if he's watching us, right? So his opinion matters because he's watching us. Listen to Ed's Breakout News. Listen to Peyton talk about how Mason Rudolph's the GOAT. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I've had various debates with CJ throughout the life here. Tyler Naquin, Bradley Zimmer, big argument. Where are they at now? Both suck. I mean, who cares who it was because he thought that Tyler Naquin was great. Where's he at now? I have no idea. Right. See? So who says that he knows what he's talking about? Then he interrupts Ed when Ed's trying to talk, run the show. Who's the almighty powerful? Who's Bobby Lashley of this show? Right here. Right? See? So you got to respect him. But I'm just saying, I think CJ comes out here, makes the show worse, disrespects Ed, the face that runs the place, the AJ Styles of this establishment. And then you've got the lovely Peyton Vince with this just glowing skin on that forehead right there. Letting the reflection show off.
In 2024,
I'm just saying, I need to hear some more good input from Keith, the biggest brand on the show, but I can't because CJ just interrupts him. So I think he makes show worse because I can't hear what Keith says, I can't hear what Ed says, and I can't hear what Ed says.
Wow.
CJ, I love you, though.
I love you, Keith, but
I could have gave a positive argument on the other end if I wanted to, but I didn't get the choice.
I'll let Peyton Vince decide this one, but then this is an epic battle. This the only winners, like I said, are going to be the listeners, and I love you, Keith, but anytime we can take CJ down, I mean that's just
the judges were against you to start with.
Yeah, I mean, Keith, you had no chance, my guy. You had no chance with this one.
It depends because do the viewers at home on We Like Sportz socials on YouTube,
let us know.
Make sure to let us a like. Give us a like on there. If you're listening on Apple, Google, Spotify.
So basically, I was Deshaun Watson going against Alabama. In other words,
they looked at yeah.
You were the Cavs going against the Knicks.
Just dominant.
Yeah, exactly.
Peyton, keep plugging though. I love what you're doing. I see what you're doing here.
But also follow us on Twitter at We Like Sportz PC and let us know what you think about CJ. Follow us on TikTok and comment some more about how much of a jerk he is.
Yes.
But do the viewers at home want us to be impartial, or do they want us to be biased? Because it depends. Because if you want me to be biased, I could say and agree with Casey that 100% I absolutely agree with them. Or I could be impartial and make sports great again, like we've been trying to with this whole entire great debate segment.
We have.
And I could agree with Keith. So let's get back to this.
Yeah, let's leave it up to the viewers out there.
10 minutes or so. The first person that comments that's been watching, I've seen 2 people at least watching currently on Twitter. Let's see if you think that CJ is worse for the show. You let us know, and maybe we'll let you take a spot for a week.
Wow.
Shit.
Well, that
things are on the line, like his ass. His ass is on the line and the spot. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We'll get back
to that.
To
and with that, we will end another rousing edition of the Great Debate. Wow. Probably best one ever. Wow.
And the best part is I don't think there's any winners. I don't think there was a loser.
No, I don't think no losers for sure.
Except for the fact that we watched the Cavs game yesterday.
It was a pleasure, Keith. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure, Casey. It was a pleasure.
You guys were legends. You know what this was? This was the 2016 slam dunk between Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon right here. That's what this was. That's what this was right here. But I thank you, gentlemen, for your time and your service, and we're all better informed people and sports fans because of it. But what I do,
we got our answer.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay.
I think. Let me see. Let me look. I can see who that is.
He's got the magic right here. He can tell us who. Yeah, I know. I think we definitely got both winners tonight.
Wait a minute.
Both winners, but
that's Peyton Vince's burner. Doug Vince.
Travis Kelce.
But
on his burner.
This, when I think of moments like this, and I think, we've had a great show so far, but we got a little bit to go. I think, I might need some dummy. Right. If you want an energy drink that you can mix at home that doesn't give you the jitters or make you crash.
Peyton gets the jitters.
Get a
That
lot
has
of
no
jitters,
calories,
man.
no
Too much
sugar.
caffeine.
Or like CJ says, no maltodextrin. I don't know what that is. They don't have it. That's a good thing. We don't have CJ right now. That's a good thing. No fillers or no artificial colors. W has great flavors such as Dragonade, Galaxy Grenade, Peach and Peach, and Dub Sludge. Also, new flavor, Aniba Elixir flavor, and it's like a sour gummy bear. I always say it wrong. Sowie, like a sour gummy bear. So yeah, you want to head on over to w.gg, use the coupon code We Like Sportz to get 10% off your order. So you'll want to do that. Also, the Snooze You Lose podcast, we talked about that with Uncle Joe the Black Bookie. He'll get you set with his Sunday Snooze You Lose pick of the week, and he's been hot lately. I know he's 15-8 going into yesterday. Do we know how he did? I'm sorry, I was a little bit under the weather. And
Jesus Christ!
Wear
a mask, dude. Jesus, wear a mask.
Yeah, we'll have to do that. So also too, I always like to plug us. We Like Sportz on X. You want to check out the We Like Sportz PC.com, our website as well. We got such great writers such as Sean and Vinny. Vinny's been doing a great job, by the way. You want to check out his articles. Yeah.
Not quite.
Well, close, but not quite. Yes.
He's the Vinny Pastano of the show or the website. I mean.
He is Vinny, his last name, and you'll have to go to WeLikeSportsPC.com to find out his last name.
Just because you don't want to plug that we got former Guardians and Indians players doesn't mean that.
Well,
he might have an alias. Ooh, we don't know. We're writers over there. But also, the Snooze You Lose pick of the week, he got it wrong. He had the Capitals over the Coyotes, and the Coyotes.
You know, if you would have went with NASCAR, he probably had the right bet. That's what happens in hockey, man.
No, he's been hot. You'll still want to check him out. I can vouch for that.
I'd still put all my money towards him. You know, it's all $10 I have, but I'd still put all my money towards him.
The free bonus bet that Peyton got.
right. And also
from the Super Bowl, that's where I got it from.
And also too, what you'll want to do is check out my bookie, because you know what? Because my bookie. All I know is this: if you had a $1,000, $1,000 bill on the ground, you wouldn't just let it just stay there, would you? Because this read is going bad real quick. So help me out, Casey. If you had a $100 bill on the ground, you wouldn't just let it go, would you?
But I did it last night because I put a live bet on the goddamn Cavs after Brunson went down. So someone got that $100 bill.
Thank God, my bookie has the biggest online selection of odds and contests to fill your sports betting needs anytime, anywhere. So you can turn that sports betting knowledge into cash in your wallet. Bet on the NFL, college bowl games when they're in play, or play for a fair share of cash prizes in their weekly blackjack tournaments. If you've been waiting for the right time to get in on the action, the time is now. Make your winning move today. Sign up at MyBookie. Use the promo code SPORTS with a Z. That's promo code SPORTS with a Z to get your deposit match redeemable up to $1,000. Again, that's promo code SPORTS with a Z. To claim that bonus. Experience the thrill of sports betting right from the comfort of your home. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with my bookie. So I redeemed myself, and we can cut that real nice. And
also, I know who made the comments. Shout out to my man Neville Lacey Sr. and shout out to my man Sean Hall. Neville Lacey had the LOL. Sean Hall says salute everyone, and he said the Cavs need to stop playing soft against those Knicks. Tired of them getting bitch slapped. And also, he also said the Cavs without Mitchell ain't shit.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much.
They need to play better as a team. So,
and then one of the other guys, too, we're talking about the Guardians. Was that Sean, too?
Yeah, that is Sean. Yeah, that
Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to you guys for watching, listening, and shout out to the people listening to the podcast version tomorrow as well when you listen on Apple, Google, Spotify, and you leave us a 5-star review.
Oh, okay. Got to be that 5-star review. Got to have it.
Because you end up doing the 5-star knuckle shuffle like Ed likes doing.
Yeah. Well,
John, let's see a video, Ed. Show me a video doing that, Ed.
He does. But I want to take the time out. This is something we normally don't do. But we have friend of show. Sherry, and she's that Browns fangirl. And she reached out to me today, and she always does a lot of charitable things. So, she's a nice person. I'm not so nice, but I want to be a nicer guy in 2024. We're bringing the fun on the We Like Sportz Show. So she's got a charity that she's starting with Rake. That's Random Acts of Kindness Everywhere. And she's got a goal of getting $311 by 3/11, her twin sister's birthday is on next Monday, which is 3/11. So please consider donating to Rake. They do some great things out there, and you can catch her at Brown's Fangirl, and that's girl with a U, G-U-R-L, girl on X. So you want to check her stuff out there because she is friend of show. She loves Breakhead News, and she does watch, and she always comments on my stuff. So I want to give her a shout out as well. So shout out Sherry. Hopefully you get your money.
Sherry.
Yep. So.
Did she comment on the Watson and Manziel thing too?
She did repost it for me, so I give her like because you know what, I don't think she wanted to jump into that fray. That kind of thing that got kind of ugly, like a Browns game. It kind of got ugly.
So you guys are used to it.
We're kind of used to it.
Everybody in this room except for me is used to this because if I remember correctly, one of those games the Browns lost to the Steelers.
Yeah, well, we're not here to talk about that, but you know what we are here to talk about. Shout out. I don't know. I hope the Guardians do better this year, not playing medium.
I already did.
Chase the water, man.
Well, you know what? You see.
Okay, I agree. I think Ed's getting to the point of
free whatever. Free whatever. Yeah.
Free whatever.
Well, we have to talk about baseball because I kind of like put that in our description of the show. So got to talk a little baseball in our free whatever. So who wants to talk about baseball?
I mean, I can start real quick.
Go ahead, Casey.
I do recall Casey did say a couple months ago when we were talking about the Cleveland Guardians. I did say I thought that we are somewhat underestimating Will Brennan. I don't know if you guys have been on Valley Sports at all, or if you've watched any of the games that have been on. But when they do a commercial, they ask the players on the team, and they say, who do you think is going to surprise everyone this year? Who do you think is going to stand out? And the name that they all mostly say is Will Brennan.
Who also changed his stance this year as well. Small detail, but he changed his stance this year.
I did go through his numbers with you guys last time. I'm not going to do it again. You can look it up at your own accord. But I do think that we are underestimating what he could bring to the team. I do think he can make the next step. When looking at the Guardians, again, we never know what to expect. You know, are we going to win 80, 90 games? You have no idea. It's really just a mystery game. So we're not really sure. But we have talked before about you do never know what's going to happen, right? Going in, Texas Rangers didn't think they were a contender going into it. We looked at that all the time last year. We talked about them. All those teams around them too. But we never thought they were really a contender. So, again, that's always the thing with baseball is you never know what's going to happen. You know, our pitching is tough, man. If they can pitch like they can, they're tough. They just need shit. Yeah, healthy. It's the big thing. And Quan, I love Quan. I love Naylor. You know, I love the chemistry they have, right? And I think in baseball, when you're playing 162 games, having that chemistry with the team, and I do not like Austin Hedges as a player, but I think that he's getting him back to the team as well, I think is beneficial. And even for Naylor, people should talk Naylor and say, oh, he's nothing. He's going to be a Francisco Mejia. Who gives a shit, right? But I'm telling you, you've got Sandy Alomar. You've got Stephen Vogt. You've got Austin Hedges. They're mentoring him and showing him how to run a game. You've got a fucking Cam Gallagher behind him at least. Yep. You know, you've got something. Yeah, you've got something there.
Fry, right?
Oh, Fry,
Fry, yeah. But my only worry, though, is when the season starts, right? You cut down the roster. Yeah. Who are we going to cut? And is it going to be a dude or trade Nolan Jones, Will Benson, where it's Yandy Diaz trade, stuff like that, because we're going to have to cut a few guys that are not going to be able to make it. And who is that going to be?
Middle infield alone right now. I mean, Martinez having a hell of a spring right now. He's in the conversation at shortstop too. But
even Fry, do you think Fry makes the team? Because Rokia, I mean, it's you got a lot of guys that need a chance.
I think so.
Fry makes the team because he can play multiple positions. He can play,
outfield,
first base, catcher.
Same thing with Freeman too. Tyler Freeman, multiple positions. He's been playing.
But then you've got Rocchio, even Arias. Like you still have other dudes that, like the guy we drafted in the Rule 5 that has to stay on the team. You've got Miles Straw. You've got Will Brennan. You've got you've got Manzardo or whatever the fuck Peyton called him last week. Manza. I don't even know what he said. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
Got him too.
But from what I see, Manzardo supposed to open it up in AAA.
AAA Columbus. Yep.
Do we want that? Like, I mean, what doesn't hurt? Like, granted,
Might
I think
not want that,
great,
but the front office want that.
I want whatever's best for the pitching staff, and if they feel what's comfortable is behind the dish, that's why you talk about Austin Hedges and everything. I want the strength of the team is pitching. So I think I'm always in the belief that you make whatever your strength is comfortable, and then you'll figure stuff out after that.
I mean, even better question if we're talking Guardians. Right now, center field is Miles Straw, Casey's guy, and Ramon Laureano.
I tagged that in a Miles Straw.
I take Straw over Laureano. I like, the more and more I look at it, he's put on some weight, he's getting some strength or whatever. That I want to see what Miles Straw, because if he could just get his average up to 240, 250, and maybe have a little bit more power, maybe hit 5 home runs, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say this.
Straw's young too.
I do think that if you have Quan, like Quan hit like 3-4 home runs last year.
Yeah.
If he just can 10,
yeah,
just saying Straw maybe 5.
Yeah.
Like that is a big difference. Like
it is a bit, yeah.
If a few guys just
just a little
bulk up a little bit more,
yep.
It's because could you imagine Quan hits 280, plays the defense he plays, hits 10 home runs, like he's another good chemistry guy.
Yep.
And that's the thing I like about the Guardians, like I said, is the teams that I feel like I connect to when I watch is the teams that all get along. You watch it every game, you watch them a lot, and you feel like the team really well. So it's like the Cavs for me. That's why it hurts even more when the fucking Cavs suck, because I watch every game and I see everything and I feel like
you see the interactions of them and they're your guys.
But then it sucks though when they suck. So like
you'll see the interactions if they get put out.
Exactly.
That's the
you
thing.
See the interaction then and see Donovan's interaction.
Yeah. Peyton,
even if he leaves, I'll still like Mitchell. He got my respect being on the Cavs with us. Truthfully, like I think highly of Mitchell, even if he was to leave us.
What's your baseball take, Peyton? Because I know we talked guards, but give me something else. Give me something. I love baseball. I love baseball.
I mean, alone with just Martinez, I mean, he's making so much of an argument right now with the front office that you had Arias, you ended up having Rocchio. Right now in spring so far, as of yesterday, I'm pulling up this clip just because we're a very clip-oriented team now.
Clip.
Hold on. I literally clicked and dragged, and I didn't mean to. I'm technology illiterate, guys. Work with me. But he ended up having almost another home run, and on top of that, his average is 600.
Is the son of former Cubs catcher Sandy Martinez. Fly ball hit to deep left center field, and this one will bang off the wall. Fielded by Mastrobuoni, but sliding in safely for a double is Angel.
Did he say he's the son of Sandy? What did he say?
Sandy Martinez.
Not Sandy Alomar.
I thought Sandy Martinez. I don't know what that even fucking is. Anyway, you know who Sandy Martinez is?
Before our time, probably.
Sandy Leone?
Yeah.
Son of Sandy Leone?
But he's 8 of 14 in the spring, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and batting .571. And he's 22. And back when
did you see that Chase DeLauder, man? That fucking bomb he hit.
He barely even swung. What was that?
The thing is, too, is the biggest thing with DeLauder, too, is that like the biggest critique he has is the fact that he ended up early on in single A and double A when he was there late with Akron. He's had a hitch in his swing each time. And I mean, after that bomb that he literally hit in spring, you're not really worried about that right now. And I mean, if you're doing that, I'm kind of getting at the point when I brought up Straw and Ramon Laureano. I wouldn't be surprised if either of those guys end up. You cut the fat, you trim the fat, and you move on, and you end up having DeLauder in center, or you move Will Brennan to center field, and then have DeLauder in right possibly.
Yep.
Because I think it's we're going to go into late March, April. It's going to be a crapshoot. You have your pitching. You end up having Bieber that his velocity is gained, which is exciting right now. Either you keep him, or if you trade him, you're probably going to get something valuable compared to what you did last year.
Yep. Oh, he's healthy now. So
you end up having Tristan McKenzie. You hope that he could end up having long-term, that he could end up being the length of a 6-7 inning starter. It depends on his arm. I mean, it's a little bit concerning, but time will tell. You have Tanner Bybee, another ace. You got 3 right there. You have Gavin Williams, another ace. That's 4 aces in the rotation right now, and Logan Allen rounding it out. And Logan Allen, he's not terrible. He's just not an ace yet, but he's a great second, third option to the rotation.
He's your 5th starter. Oh, that's a pretty good rotation.
And they have Joey Cantillo, too, one of their other prospects as well, that he's ended up showing up in spring as well, too. And he has some zip on his fastball. And you have Daniel Espino. I mean, you have a pitching factory overall. Espino's still hurt, but the pitching factory, if you end up getting rid of Bieber, you have another guy in the system that's going to end up showing you what they could do from last year again. Gavin Williams struck out Mike Trout the other day last week. And I mean, yeah, I know Mike Trout has fallen off, but Gavin Williams being a young starter, having zip on the ball, you still got bragging rights. You struck out Mike Trout. That's awesome. But, I mean, I'm kind of with Casey. You end up having a healthy rotation. Anything could happen. You could end up looking at back in the day when you had the Indians have Bauer, Clevenger, Kluber, Carrasco, Tomlin, 200
Salazar.
Jeez.
Salazar, you're getting a little carried away.
Tomlin, you're getting carried away.
I always thought it was
both then for both of us.
I want to talk to, because I know Keith, I know he's a big Yankees guy because we're talking about pitching here for the Guardians, but I'm looking at what the Yankees are doing this spring, and you got a guy, Juan Soto, that you brought in, and he's delivering. How do you feel about that one, Keith?
Can't wait till March 31st. Can't wait till March 31st. But like I said, this is a do or die year for the Yankees. If they don't do it this year, Yankees are kind of like in the same position Ohio State football is.
Yeah.
If they don't do it this year, it's all in. If not, there will be changes. And I'm just going to keep it short at that.
Well, and also, too, what's kind of cool, I do think, I know, don't the Yankees come to Cleveland in April, kind of early for a series, I think, as well. So that'll be fun. So we'll get the firsthand look at Juan Soto and the gang, kind of.
Do you think so? You talked about it last week, I think, or 2 weeks ago. The Guardians over under this year for wins is 78.5. 78.5.
I'm taking
the Red Sox.
I already said
the Red Sox are 80. So the Red Sox are projected to win more than us.
It's ridiculous.
I can't believe that. I would take the over too.
May 20th, 21st, and 22nd at home.
Damn, it's too bad. I was gonna be. I'd be up in May, the beginning of May. You could go with Keith and go watch the Guardians play the Yankees. But
could catch the Tigers or the Angels around your birthday, Case.
Tigers or Angels. The CJ loves the Tigers. He said he can't see some Tigers baseball. So
yeah, the Tigers finished ahead of us. Ahead of the Guardians.
Yeah, I know.
My buddy Brandon from work, we hit on it all the time. I posted it on Facebook. I don't think I posted it on X, but I'm going to bring it up here. We ended up see you later, Ed. Nice knowing you. Host of the show is gone. But anyways, we ended up talking at work, and he doesn't think that the Guardians end up having a shot of being over 500. So I'm taking over 500. Over 81 wins, that's all I need. Well, 82, and then if it's a 81 and 81 season, we're just calling it a push. But I'm kind of confident with it. Spring training, I'm confident with that as well. They just need to be over 82 and 81, and that's winning the division. And we're just betting lunch on it, but let's have some fun. And if the Twins end up, they're not playing within the division, but you still have 81 games that you're potentially able to win, and they ended up mustering that together last year. Welcome back, Ed. Nope. See you later, Ed.
Hey, what's up, guys? Little technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on.
Ed's bumped out of his spot on the screen.
Yeah,
oh, no.
Strange. We talk.
Oh, it is technical.
Evil Empire. Evil Empire.
Ed, are you here? Nope. He's frozen.
His son's playing video games and throwing him off the fucking Wi-Fi. He's got to
dial up internet.
Yep. He's gonna go kick his ass right now. Throw his Xbox out. Don't you know what time it is, son? Get on the fucking yard, start running.
Oh, we're back at it again.
Don't come back in it. Don't come back in until I'm done with the show. Then you can play your video games.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. Welcome back.
I gotta, that was a quick one. I looked at him and he ran, and
told you, see.
Yeah, that was very strange because
he was taking the belt off. He said, "Fuck, I'm getting."
Well, I had internet. I had that Wi-Fi and the internet on my phone, and I was looking. I'm like, did something? I have no idea what happened. But then again, I know nothing about technology, so I don't. I think it had to do with the evil empire. You start talking about the New York Yankees, and as Guardians fans, we're too cheap to compete. So it shut it down right then and there. And it must have thought there was a paywall or something we had to break through. And we just couldn't do it unless we're going to use the corporate credit card for the We Like Sportz Show. But that's up to Peyton to let us know.
Casey's got that Disney card from what I remember.
Yeah, right. I have an empty cup looking for change down here. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you might be able to. That's about probably as much as on the company credit card right now. So I mean,
exactly. Ed, how much you want to bet on Stephen Kwan to win the American League MVP right now? How much money you want to send me? I'll put it down.
Okay, let's see. What do you think he's at a plus 2,000? Was he 32?
So if I bet $10, I'd win $1,500.
That's kind of what I thought. Okay. Yeah, that's kind
15 plus 15,000.
Yeah, I think that
you could fucking dude hits 330. Yandy Diaz has good odds
too.
It's gonna come down to team success. So I think how good do you think?
But if Stephen Kwan hits 330, fuck.
Well, then we're probably winning. We're winning like 92 games probably. Then
Jose
Ramirez starting rotation.
If I bet this $10 on Jose Ramirez, it's 235. I'd win.
Are you on my bookie?
Yeah, of course. Duh.
Yeah.
Lucky Yandy Diaz is on here, plus 4,000 only.
Yeah. Problem with Jose is was he finished the top 5? How many years or whatever? It's ridiculous.
But you said we'd have to.
It's a team.
Win 90 plus games.
We would have to finish in for win close to 100 games. I think.
Yeah, and then for him to have I think less strikeouts.
Yeah.
That's what I think it would be.
And more home runs. He needs closer to.
If he swaps some strikeouts and gets some more homers, then I think there's a chance. I don't think it's crazy.
No, I don't think so. No.
For Josh Naylor MVP, because if he would have been healthy last year, I think numbers wise, he could have had the possibility. He had RBIs, huge.
He's the same as Kwan. He's the same as Kwan. If I bet $10, it's to win 1,510. So Ed, if you had $100 and you said fuck Josh Naylor for the hell of it, $15,000 you'd win.
Well, then I might just throw some shit on that then.
Crazy.
Look, I think Josh Naylor, I mean, you look at him and it's I almost think he has a better chance than Ramirez, only from the fact is that for whatever reason, I think Ramirez is kind of pigeonholed into he's a good player, but there's a lot of people that for whatever reason, I think a lot of the media where they just don't give him that extra respect. I think that for whatever reason, and somebody like a Naylor coming out of nowhere, I think sometimes those baseball writers would be more inclined to give it to him. So I don't think that's foolish money if he he has to put up astronomical numbers and do what
you could parlay it with the Guardians to win the Central.
That makes sense. Now that makes a lot of sense.
Plus 350 is for the Guardians to win the Central.
I kind of like that. I mean, I don't know how much money I'm going to put down.
My bookie doesn't let you parlay it though. So
but we could end up adding. I could end up sending a text to my guy, and we could end up seeing if we could boost that bet.
Yeah, right. Can you imagine
Cleveland Boost, the We Like Sportz Show.
Wow. Well,
text me and I'll see if we can make it happen.
Yeah.
Well, I'll chip in together, except for Keith, because Keith's probably not going to want to bet against the Yankees.
What's Juan Soto's odds to win is it's crazy. The American League MVP, it goes the favorites Aaron Judge plus 525, second Juan Soto plus 575. So the Yankees have the top 2 favorites to win the American League MVP.
Wow, imagine that.
Isn't crazy?
What's his odds?
Who?
Joey Gallo.
I don't think there's odds for Joey Gallo to win.
I think he's back with the Rangers too. Actually,
he got signed by somebody. Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Salvador Perez, you could bet on. Vinny Pasquantino, you could bet on to win. Plus 20,000.
I think what we're gonna do is I got a new thing that I'm thinking. I just thought of it now because when I was before I whoop my son's ass. Shh.
Wrapping up the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
We got to cut him off before he ends up getting in trouble.
That's funny. But I think we're to end the show, we're going to do a thing called closing time. You know what I'm saying?
One last call for sports take. So great.
Yes, Peyton gets it. Yes. We'll have to do something, Peyton. We'll have to get something going here. I like that. We'll have to get a little outro going maybe with.
You're going to have to sing it, Ed.
Well, PV raps. Bust out.
Scratchy today. Yeah, I was. But so what we're gonna do is go around and say our final closing time thoughts here. We'll start with you, Keith. And please bring up the CSU Vikings because you've not yet done so.
Okay, first I want to give a shout out and congratulations to Iowa's Caitlin Clark for breaking the Division I scoring record, eclipsing a 54-year-old record held by Pistol Pete Maravich. Actually, the record was my age. Go figure. And even though the Ohio State girls took it on the chin yesterday, which really they ran into a buzzsaw yesterday.
I mean, they had four ankle falls.
Shout out to Peyton Vince's wife, JC Sheldon, by the way.
Allegedly.
Hey, she's a cutie. I ain't gonna lie.
They ran into a buzzsaw, but hey, good luck to Ohio State ladies in the tournament. And shout out to the Ohio State men's.
Yeah.
They made their presence known, and they keep their faint NCAA tournament hopes alive by defeating Michigan, blew them out. I watched some of them. By the time I turned it back, I was like, whoa. Whoa. Snooze fest at the same time. Golden State and Boston and Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah.
And also, shout out to the Cleveland State Vikings.
Yes. There it is. There it is.
The women who are in first place in the Horizon League. They beat Northern Kentucky 81-69. And shout out to the men. Ooh. Oh, damn, did the men win? Hold up.
Hope so.
The men win. Who did the men play?
They should have.
Well, they did win. They did win. They beat Indiana, Purdue, University.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Indiana,
whatever. Yeah, they won.
IUPU.
Sounds
like a bathroom break.
Something smells.
And I think the women's conference tournament for the Horizon League will be starting very soon, and the men, I think, next week.
Yeah, the week after.
Shout out to both those programs, and good luck to Ohio State and Cleveland State. And also, last but not least, shout out to Case Western Reserve. They won their playoff game over this past weekend.
Okay.
What about Robert Morris?
What about Robert Morris? Yes.
Nothing about Robert Morris. And shout out to all the high school teams that's still competing in the OHSA state tournament.
Peyton's keeping an eye on those.
Those Sandusky teams I hear are really good.
You're not lying, but it's Casey's turn.
Yeah.
Watch out for Garfield Heights.
And Richmond Heights, Division 4.
Yeah, and Richmond Heights, yes.
I don't know anything about them, but I know they recruit. Possibly, allegedly, I don't know.
Whoa, NIL. High school NIL for D4.
Casey, closing time. What do you got?
Maple Heights Lanes might be sponsoring them. I would say I'm gonna go to the squared circle maybe. We got off of the Elimination Chamber. We're going into the road to WrestleMania. We've got 30-some days, I think, 440. 2K24 is coming out this week as well, if you're a WWE fan. Might get it, not sure. Thinking about it. Lady's out of town for the week, so I might get it because I'll play it the whole time. Then she's not here.
Smart man.
I think that The Rock.
That's why he's on the show.
No, I'm on the show because we went back to Mondays. I can't. Mondays work for me. I can do Mondays. You'll see me more Mondays. I know, Jesus Christ, dude.
Thank you.
Change your kid's schedule or something, dude.
I own that again.
I know. He's grounded now, so we're good. But I would say for The Rock, mixed reactions you see. I think Peyton might be constipated right now, but he also I think likes that The Rock's back. I like that The Rock's back. Now I do think that The Rock is not the same Rock he always has been. If you watch his promos, he's not as smooth as he used to be, I'd say. There's the little hiccups
he's old.
Here and there. Yeah, I know. But, the Rock was the king of the microphone, man. He's like a top promo man, one of the top ones, right?
He can't be like me.
So he is like, he's turning into you, actually. But it is weird seeing him being a bitch to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
It is strange. But it is keeping me intrigued. Like, I'm happy he's back. It could be the last time we see him, really wrestle in WWE. So, I'm appreciating it. I'm watching it more than I usually do. I watched the Elimination. I only watched the women's and men's one, the other matches. I knew it was going to happen. It wasn't a surprise. I just watched those to see him. It's very strange to me. Drew McIntyre winning that, I get it. But the way he won, I somewhat understand, because how do you make Kevin Owens lose and not make him look weak? have what happened happened? How do you make LA Knight not look weak? You have what happened happened. How do you make Randy Orton not look weak? You have what happened happened. So sadly, like I said,
you're saying they got good writers. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know, man, because like I'm not watching that closely, right? So everything was kind of I didn't, it's kind of surprised me not watching. I said I watched the Rock stuff, Roman Reigns stuff, some LA Knight stuff, the main card stuff. I'm not really tuned into every day, every week stuff, but it was just me and Peyton, were somewhat close to wrestling, so we feel like we overanalyze wrestling sometimes. But when I watch this, it's like I like what they're going with it, right? But I wish Drew McIntyre wouldn't have. I would have liked someone else just to see what happened because, it is what it is. Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. That's cool. And I'm sure you guys saw they announced, 2 days ago about the night one now is going to be Rhodes and who do you think's going to win that? Yeah. What do you think's going to happen?
I think Roman and Rock win because there's no way they're not going to have day 2 without the bloodline. That ain't happening.
But my point, I think that, I may see this wrong, but I think that everyone was thinking that they're going to lose, like the Rock loses, and there's no bloodline. Cody wins, finishes the story. I'm hoping that he, I don't know, man. It's too predictable. It's just too predictable for them to have no bloodline and then him finish the story. To me, seems too predictable.
Oh, okay.
And the Rock fucking him over, it just seems too predictable to me. I could see Reigns winning both, losing the first night and dominating the second night, and now he says, "Who am I now? You said that I only win matches because of the bloodline. Now look at what I just did." Right? You could see that happening, and then it continue on.
Shout out to Paul Heyman as well.
Hall of Fame in Philadelphia.
My name is Peyton Heyman, and my tribal chief, Casey.
I'm just saying. So it's just interesting. I know I'm intrigued. The one negative is my dad has not visited me in Florida since I've moved here, and the one time he's coming down to visit me is WrestleMania weekend.
What are you doing, Ed?
You better acknowledge him. You better acknowledge him.
I can't really watch WrestleMania. So that's gonna
kind of. You can. Your house, your rules.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like night one is Saturday. I won't be able to watch it. Sunday, I think he's leaving, so I'll be able to watch Sunday night. But
just
of
give him
course,
an RKO and just tell him
Yeah, my back has been hurting like Randy Orton Elimination Chamber last week.
Oh.
A softball started for me. That's my last closing time. The softball started this last week for me. So
thank you, Casey.
That's why I wasn't here last week because I had practice. But now I'm blowing off practice for the show. So
my guy,
good American.
That's right.
Good American.
That is why we make We Like Sports and sports in general great again.
Thank you.
That's right. That's right.
But
floor is not mine now.
Though about the bloodline, to go a step further. I ended up seeing that the Bloodline wins, a theory on X. Bloodline wins. You got Paul Heyman on commentary, Solo Sikoa, the outside enforcer. You end up having Jimmy Uso at some kind of capacity, probably ringside. The Rock as special guest referee. Yeah. And then you end up having, eventually they all get taken out. Triple H ends up having a part. Seth Rollins, maybe, probably not because he's competing. But you have Triple H become the guest ref. You have Stone Cold come out and reignite a rivalry from about 21, 22 years ago. With The Rock. I mean, fans are loving and eating up this shit right now, which is amazing. You can't be mad with wrestling. I mean, Keith, you're not a wrestling guy, but honestly, for WrestleMania, I might tell you that if you ended up wanting the entertainment to see the great one, The Rock, to compete,
the great one's above him. The great one's right above Keith. What are you talking about?
Thank Casey understands. Thank you.
But overall, though, wrestling has just been enjoyable again. I mean, I'm not watching every single week like I used to. Just too busy. And it's just trying to make enough times. But there's podcasts out there that you could listen to. There's enough reviews. There's enough articles, whether or not you listen or watch on WeLikeSportsPC.com. Either way, though, wrestling is fun again, and it's interesting. They're literally making movies, and each week it's a new start or a new chapter to this movie, to this cinema that's going further. And if you pay attention to small details, it makes sense.
Yeah, I like wrestling for the storylines. Like I'm a big, You know, the story that's being told. I enjoy watching wrestling too, but like, it's the stories that are being told and stuff like that's what I enjoy the most about it. And even the stories in the match, right? You see the storylines bleeding into the match, what tells a good story. So that's my.
They're just making movies at this point. And again, wrestling wise, AEW, shout out to Sting wrestling in his final match last night. I mean,
fucking Darby Allin smashing off the. Did you see that, Ed? Did you see that or no?
Yeah, I did see. Yep.
Goes to that sheet of glass, like all the way in there, just flat on his back. Oh my god!
Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up before we go because
Keith, I want Keith to see this because I don't think he's seen it. This is crazy.
But like,
it's like that Joey Janela shit. Remember when he jumped off the roof of the into the back of a truck that was full of that shit? Yeah. Oh my god, it's crazy.
Hold on. But yeah, I mean, overall, the wrestling this weekend and wrestling coming up, it's going to be fun. I mean, Sting ended up even saying, too, that he ended up doing steroids back in the day with Ultimate Warrior, and he stopped in 1990. Ultimate Warrior didn't, and unfortunately, you see who's around now.
What about Scott Norton? Was Scott Norton taking those? I think he was.
His voice is deeper than anybody's here.
Crazy thing, when I was home, there was like the Dark Side of the Ring was on, and guess who was the guest on the one episode of Dark Side of the Ring? It was Scott Norton and Too Cold Scorpio.
Oh, wow.
That's what I said. I was like, what the hell?
What a combo.
And then it was Too Cold Scorpio almost beat it was them with Japan. And then they almost beat Animals or Hawk's ass. Too Cold Scorpio almost killed him with a shank, he said. So it was crazy.
I think I remember that.
It's crazy.
Here we go. Keith. Are you ready?
Here.
That's insane.
And then afterwards, the back was, I'm not even trying to pull that up, but his back was all bloody. And
it's like the super humming.
Oh, wow.
Fuck this shit.
Shout out
I want to see Ed make a video like that in his backyard. Off the patio deck. The patio deck, I want to see him jumping off it. Taking his shirt up and throwing it.
Speaking of which, because you ended up bringing up the other Ed that's never on the show, but your dad. We ended up talking. Well, also that's a possibility too. But we ended up talking, I believe, last week for Father's Day. Might be a cool concept to end up having fathers and sons together. We'd end up having Keith and his son, Ed and his son.
Yeah, what did my dad say about that one? Yeah,
I got it. I haven't been at bowling in a while.
Two Eds are better than one.
At the radio station with high school basketball.
Dad's name's Ed.
Oh wow!
So you got Ed. Eds. My dad's name's Ed. His dad's name's Ed. It's crazy.
But I'll end up asking Ed to see if he has the free time. I'm sure if not, you might see him before me when you end up having him go down to Florida.
Yeah, I can't see him going live on the We Like Sportz Show.
Oh, just tell him that the amount of women that he'll end up getting after he is making one appearance.
Just ask this Ed up here. He got too many women. He's getting in trouble. He got
yeah.
You know,
I'm gonna leave that one alone. With my closing time, I will say one thing. My only thing I got to say about WWE is this is called closing time.
Did you say WWE?
Ooh, drink up. I was thinking that closing time. I'm a big fan of Tiffy time, and
I knew you were.
Tiffany's
boner time for it. Ed said that's boner time. Can't leave the room.
Look,
leave the room.
I appreciate her flipping and her acrobatics.
Braun Breaker impresses me.
Yeah, he's intense, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen him really wrestle until he's. Yeah. I'm impressed with his moves. Not as a
Tiffy overhurt him. And
he's stuck in the Vince McMahon era of WWE.
The Attitude Era with the Divas.
And the Jerry Lawler puppies. He's stuck in that. That's what he's
Yeah, right. The puppies. Yeah, that's right.
I was watching a 1998 Survivor Series, and it was fucking Jerry Lawler saying puppies about 50 times and every inappropriate thing you could think of. So
well, I don't think
I've evolved. Probably get him canceled now.
Yeah, I don't think I've evolved from that. But I just want to say I want to thank everybody that has tuned into the We Like Sportz Show. It's been a great episode. I think we had the best, great debate ever. I want to thank the participants, Casey and Keith. You guys made it great again. So thank you very much. We will be back.
What about the millions and millions of the judges around the world?
I thought you were doing Mr.
Now my microphone didn't come down.
Kennedy Anderson.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what his last name is.
That's right.
Mr. Jefferson.
But it does matter to the audience. And I want to say thank you for tuning in because we like sports and we like you. Till next time, next Monday, we'll see you then. Have a good one. And you know what? Go home, team.